welcome to Shell Point Today for Wednesday, March 23rd. I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi.
And I'm Rich Nation. On today's program, we will show you some of the beautiful and noble works of the Knitters Anonymous team here at Shell Point. And fitness coordinator Hannah Hosterman will talk about the fun and fitness class at the King's Crown.
But first, we'd like to remind you that another assisted living springtime tea and tour takes place tomorrow afternoon at the Springs at 2:30. Join Rita Southern and learn all about transitioning through the continuum of care here at Shell Point. You'll meet your case manager, tour the facilities, and more. RSVP is required for this and all other tea and tours. Please call 454-2077.
You're invited to spend tomorrow evening with violist David Pedraza in the Grand Cypress Room. David, a native of Mexico, is part of the Vitali Quartet, Symphony of the Americas, and the Miami Symphony. He will be performing along with pianist Olga Kim a collection of Hungarian and Romanian dances. The concert begins at 6:30 and no ticket is required, so come enjoy an evening out in the Grand Cypress Room.
Don't forget about the exciting baseball game tomorrow night at JetBlue Stadium when the Boston Red Sox play the New York Mets. Court pickups begin on the island at 11 a.m. and you'll return to Shell Point around 5:30. The cost of the outing is $36 with the hot dogs, popcorn, and Cracker Jack on your own. So make sure you're signed up to play ball.
It's time again for the Aviation Club meeting this Thursday. Residents Gary and Janet Collard are proud of their granddaughter, Lauren, who is a lieutenant in the Air Force. She will join the Aviation Club via video to talk about her experiences as a student at the Air Force Academy. She now flies the KC-135 Stratotanker and will be heading to the Middle East soon. So don't miss the Aviation Club meeting in the Osprey Room at 1:15 on Thursday.
And looking ahead to this weekend, make sure you sign up for the exciting hockey game outing to the Germain Arena in Estero on Saturday night. Join Bev Chanley as the Everblades hockey team play the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. The cost of the outing is $25 with snacks on your own, and court pickups begin at 5:30 p.m. You can sign up at either service desk. And now, we'd like to show you some of the wonderful work of the Knitters Anonymous group. They have devoted thousands of hours to a noble cause of crafting blankets and clothing for those in need, both near and far. The group has grown to approximately 40 volunteer crafters who have produced these fabulous items. Rich Nation caught up with Jane Hoden and Emily Kletzien recently as they were packing items to be shipped to World Relief, Amnion Crisis Pregnancy Center, and United Indian Missions International. In addition, lap robes were crafted for our veterans in Tampa and Port Charlotte.
Okay, we want to bring something really interesting and fascinating to you here today, and this is an organization that you may not have known about, and they're actually one of the oldest here at Shell Point. They've been around for over 40 years, and I'm talking about Knitters Anonymous. And I have Jane and Emily here with me today. And you guys have been doing something really awesome here, not just because you're making these beautiful garments and merchandise, but what you're doing with them. First of all, tell me how this whole group got started years ago and what you're doing today.
Knitters Anonymous started over 40 years ago. It's celebrating its 42nd anniversary. And a woman in 1974 gave a $30,000 gift to the village church, and it was invested, and the money that is made on the investment is interest, and we use the interest to buy the yarn so that the women who knit for Knitters Anonymous can have the yarn and they don't have to pay for it. And the real purpose of it is we send to 3 different agencies this material. These items go to Native Americans in Glendale, Arizona, to an agency there that caters to families. And the next items go to a crisis pregnancy center in Philadelphia. And the last table items with the hats and some scarves go to World Mission in Atlanta, and then they divvy it out where it's needed.
So it's clear to see that this is much more than just an activity or an organization for people to knit. You talked about the Village Church from the onset. It's truly a ministry, and what you're doing with these items is definitely ministry.
Well, we like to think it is, and I get wonderful and very appreciative thank you notes from the individual organizations. And they are just very, very grateful, and they say that the women who do the knitting and the crocheting, because we have some people who crochet, do such beautiful work, and it's kind of a labor of love.
Absolutely, and it truly is beautiful stuff. Jane, it looks like a lot of hours and time has been put into this stuff. It's not something that just comes overnight.
It certainly is. We estimate that Knitters Anonymous ladies produce about 5,000 to 8,000 hours every year. And last year, 2015, they produced and we sent out over 460 items to charity.
Wow.
And there is a fourth charity that started in 2014 when I joined Emily and we co-lead this group. And the ladies of the group said, we love the historic charities, but we would like to do something on behalf of people in Florida. And I researched what was being asked for in Florida. And I'm a veteran, and I saw on the internet that the VA hospitals in Florida were looking for lap robes. That's a 3 by 4 foot knitted or crocheted garment to put over the lap of a veteran in a hospital or a nursing home. And last year, my husband and I delivered 65 lap robes to the Tampa VA hospital and to the Port Charlotte. It's the Douglas Jacobson home for veterans, and we hand deliver them, and we have taken some photos of the recipients, and they absolutely love them.
Yeah, I saw the photos, and we're probably seeing those now, and it's just wonderful what you guys are doing, as you said, right here at home in Florida, and then all over the place, because once they go to Arizona, you talked about the missions aspect of it. It's going where? I mean, do you even know how far some of these items travel?
Really don't, but the ones that go to Arizona go to Native American, and it's a family organization, so people come who need warm clothes, and we try to accommodate them what their needs are.
Okay.
In the case of World Relief, they are sent to refugees in needing areas, so we have no idea. We make them and they are distributed wherever they're needed.
Right. You take it as far as you can.
We've taken it as
God
far
takes
as
it the rest of the way.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Okay, well, let's take a stroll down through here if you guys want to kind of show us and talk about some of these items. And
Well, these are baby blankets that help the new mothers and the girls. Some of them crochet, some of them do beautiful knitting. And then down here we have little baby hats for infants, for newborns. And we also have a group at the Springs and at the Arbor. And the group at the Arbor makes some for Knitters Anonymous, and they do some for the Health Park. And they donate to the prenatal unit at the Health Park Hospital.
wow, what about that?
So
yeah, some of
it's-
these are really tiny. You can, yeah, wow.
And then
Newborns.
these items go to World Relief with the warm hats, and I send them to Atlanta, and then they distribute them from there.
How many knitters would you say you have?
We
that-
have more than 40 at this time. Last year, we made concerted efforts to grow this organization, and we more than doubled the number of participants, and because of that, we have more hours, and because of that, we have more of a need for yarn. So we get our yarn not only by purchasing it from the interest on the endowment, but also we get great donations from our thrift shop, and we are so grateful to them, as well as from residents and from people on the outside.
Right. Well, there's a class, I understand, as well you can get involved in and,
Yeah,
and learn some
there
more of the
is.
techniques.
That class is going on now. It is headed by Pat Meredith, who also, she is a master knitter, and Shell Point is so fortunate to have her as a resident here. I assist in that class. Emily is involved in that class as well, and we hope to inspire new craftspeople.
Well, that would be great. Yeah, because I mean, it looks like there could be no end to the task here.
There are 2 boxes in that cupboard right there, and they can just come in any time, but the 3rd Wednesday around 2:15, I'm here for the knitters to drop off their goods, and it's important that they record their hours, and we have a list so that when they bring the item, I asked how many hours did you spend on this, and they put down their item and they put down their hours, and then they all go to the volunteer coordinator.
And remind our viewers why it's important to have these hours logged.
Oh, it is so important for Shell Point, and it helps with its status as a nonprofit organization. It also gives credence to what the value of the volunteerism is. It makes a significant difference.
Sure. And speaking of manpower,
Yeah.
we've got a man that is involved in this organization and this whole thing, and that's Arni, and we want to bring him on here and
I could
talk to
not
him.
do the sending of the items without Arni Shareski.
Well, a number of years, my wife was responsible for this work, and you can imagine how that happened then. She just took me in, said, Arni, we're going over and we're going to pack the stuff, because she wasn't able to do it. So I've been doing it now for probably 12, 13, 14 years. And it's a labor of love and enjoy it very much. Just takes an hour or 2 or 3 times a year. Pack them up, seal the boxes, take them down to the UPS room, and they're shipped the next day.
So you work with them at the UPS room as well?
I do. I work on Tuesdays.
Okay.
And I try to get it there on Tuesdays because John Bendel really wants to have the best stuff come on Tuesdays. That's his day. But we don't always make it.
Right, right. Well, this sounds like a wonderful thing. I know it's a wonderful thing, and here's the proof and what you guys are doing. And I'd say keep up the good work. Don't lose any steam, and anything people can do to get involved. They just need to get involved with the knitting group or contact one of you guys from Knitters Anonymous. Is that what they should do?
We'll welcome them. I hope maybe this spring to have a volunteer, but an appreciation tea for all of the women who are involved, because I get wonderful thank you notes from the different organizations, and I would just like to share those wonderful kudos
Right.
from the agencies with the girls who do the
Right.
knitting.
It's
and
good
the
to show
crocheting.
them the work in action and the results of what they're doing. And so there you have it. It's Knitters Anonymous, and it's something that you can get involved in and spend as little or as much time as you want and make a difference and being involved with ministry right here at Shell Point. At the King's Crown Assisted Living Facility, residents have been enjoying some exercises to help with posture alignment and upper body strengthening. It's a fun class hosted by fitness coordinator Hannah Hosterman. It's a fun fitness class. Guess that's why they call it Fun and Fitness.
Hi, my name is Hannah Hosterman, and I'm a fitness coordinator here at Shell Point. I'd like to talk to you today about my King's Crown class, Fun and Fitness. It's a seated exercise class at King's Crown on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1:45 to 2:15. There is no sign-up fee involved. I like to show you some exercises that we do during Fun and Fitness. A basic exercise for your biceps is just a bicep curl. So we'll start with the weights in our hand, palms up, and we'll just lift up and down. Also, we'll work some shoulders, so we'll do some shoulder presses, some push-pulls, and some side raises. All of these exercises are perfect for posture alignment and upper body strengthening. Now I'd like to show you some lower body exercises to strengthen the legs. Some marches, some leg extensions, some toe raises, and some heel raises. You can get a full body workout in the chair at King's Crown. Join me Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1:45 to 2:15 p.m. at King's Crown. Thank you.
And now it's time to take a look at today's happenings, academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Well, hello and happy Wednesday. This is the happening segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Caitlin Van Scoy.
And I'm Bev Chandley.
We're going to give you all of Wednesday's activities. We start at 7:45 bright and early with men's Bible study in the Osprey Room. Pickleball follows that at 8 o'clock at the game courts. Also at 8, men's match play tennis will be at the Woodlands tennis courts. Lilly and Company Jewelers will be there for their weekly service at 8:45 in the Resident Activity Center. And Jurassic Travel will be in the Egret Room from 9 to 12 to help you with all your personal traveling needs. Also at 9, the watercolor group with Phil Hilton will be in the art studio down in the Island Tunnel. And we move to 10 o'clock for the ladies' Bible study in the Osprey Room. Also at 10, the men's match play tennis will be at the Woodlands tennis courts. And at 10:15, we have the Model Yacht Sailing Club at the Woodlands Commons Lake. That's it for our morning. Here's Bev to tell you all about our afternoon.
Thank you, Caitlin. We're going to start with a chess game. That's in the Library Lounge on the island. And at 1:15, we have a hearing enrichment group meeting. That'll be in the Manatee Room. From 1:30 to 3:30, we do have our model train room down in the tunnel open for tours. And we have a program called Do You Know Your Neighbor Chicago? That'll be in the Social Center at 2:15. Do head down there. Those are a lot of fun. At 2:30, we have Jazz and Stuff in the Grand Cypress Room. And a Health Connections class is at 3 o'clock. Pilates Stretch. That'll be in the Tarpon Room. The singles table at the Crystal Dining Room will be available at 5 o'clock. And at 5:45, the church choir rehearsal will be at the Village Church. Our last activity for today is 7:15 with prayer and praise at the Village Church. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Wednesday. At 9 o'clock, our knitting class continues in the Save Room of the Woodlands. At 10:15, our Google workshops continue in the Technology Teaching Center on the island. At 1 o'clock, our Experiencing Colored Pencil Painting class continues in the Sable Room at the Woodlands. Also at 1 o'clock, Intermediate Bridge continues in the Game Room of the Woodlands.
Menus for Wednesday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is roasted chicken with fresh green beans and a baked sweet potato. The dinner special is the All-American Buffet for $14.95, and the soup of the day is lentil. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a Monte Cristo sandwich with a side salad for $7.75. The dinner special is fried shrimp for $8.75. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill are Delmonico steak for $21.95 or soft shell crabs for $15.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, I'm Randy Woods here at the Village Church, and as we look forward to the Easter Sunday celebration, I invite you to come to the Village Church for a sacred concert with pianist Rachel Park this coming Sunday, Easter Sunday at 6:15 p.m. Rachel is a native Korean. She just finished her Doctoral of Music Arts degree at Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary in Fort Worth, Texas, where she's already received the Master of Music and Piano Performance degrees. Rachel has served the Pilgrim Ensemble of Korea as pianist for 7 years, touring Thailand, China, Korea, Iraq, Kuwait, as well as performing at Carnegie Hall in New York City, the Crystal Cathedral in California, and at the Korean Embassy in Washington, D.C. Rachel was a winner of the 2011 Piano Texas International Academy and Festival Concerto Competition, and she soloed with the Fort Worth Symphony Orchestra. Rachel and her husband Ezra are proud parents of their lovable 2-year-old son, Isaac. You won't want to miss this inspirational concert by pianist Rachel Park this Sunday night. Many of you may remember her as the pianist for Tim Zimmerman and the King's Brass. Rachel has performed with them for several years, and most recently, she was here this past January in concert with them. This Sunday, Easter Sunday evening, you will enjoy hearing Rachel perform Chopin's Ballade No. 1 in G minor, as well as Liszt's Paganini Etude No. 6 in A minor, and selections by Debussy. You will also hear her perform her own unique Korean-influenced arrangements of familiar hymn tunes, such as Great is Thy Faithfulness, In the Garden, Amazing Grace, and This is My Father's World. The Village Church is pleased to again present this inspirational Season of Praise concert. The concert requires the purchase of a non-refundable $10 ticket, and tickets will be available at the church office this week or also available at the door beginning at 5:15 on Sunday evening. Join us this week. If you're interested in more information, you can check out the website www.shellpoint.org/Season of Praise, or call the church office at 454-2147. I trust you'll join us this Sunday night as Rachel Park performs for us an inspirational concert for this Easter Sunday resurrection celebration.
Thanks for joining us for today's program. Tomorrow we will pay a visit to the Island Salon and Spa, where Robin Church will show us some specials happening there, and Rita Southern and Janine Hammond will get into an interesting discussion about exploring your options at assisted living. Until then, this has been Shell Point Today for Wednesday, March the 23rd. I'm Rich Nation.
And I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi. Thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.